Alright guys, the following tutorial is going to be about spline modeling. This will kind of set you off into modeling simple household items um, that you can pretty much model at any time using just splines without really going into edit poly or so on. Okay, so we're gonna start with something really simple first. So something like a light bulb. I'm gonna go to my front viewport, hit Alt W to maximize it. I'm just going to pull my viewport down just a little bit. Again, I'm going to go into shapes, line. Most of the objects that we create in using splines, most likely we'll be using line tool. Okay, so you're welcome to bring in images of items that you want to make. I will show that how to do that really quick also. Alright guys, I have an image that I brought up already from earlier from Google. So what you want to do when you want to import in images into Max, one of the things what you need to do is you need to go up to Views, up here on top, go to Viewport Background, okay, and then you want to click on Viewport Background, or you always have the option to hit Alt B and it will pop this window up. Next, you want to click on Files, go into where you save the image, pretty much. Mine is right here. Click Open. The next thing on here is before you jump ahead and click OK, what I want you to do is you want to keep in mind to keep check mark match bitmap and also click on lock zoom pan. What that'll do is it'll match the bitmap onto my grid and it will um, lock it in here, so if I'm zooming in and out it'll always stay there. Okay. Another reason you want to pick match bitmap is if you have an image with exact dimensions and so on and so forth, everything will come out clear. Alright, next what you want to do is you want to look at this line here. Our Max automatically brings this image in so it's centered to our grid. Um, so what we're going to need to be doing is split this image in half because we're only going to create half of it and the other half it will be created for us. Okay, so I'm going to take my line tool. I'm going to also turn off my grid because it's getting in the way, so if you hit G it turns off the grid. I'm going to start here at the bottom. Again, I'm looking for the center of this object, so right about here, and I'm going to click, click, click. And also when you're doing this you want to keep in mind that you're not really going for any smooth curves yet. You're just making points on where the object is curving, turning, pretty much, and so on and so forth. One there, let's say one there, and one up here. Okay, and note how I also I'm going to have to change the color of my line here so you guys can see a little better. Okay, note how I just made two vertices, one here, and then one here for this round curve. The reason I do this is because we're going to be using something called Bezier. Um, we're going to be using something called Bezier corners and Bezier. Okay, so first things first, what we're going to do is you want to go vertex by vertex and you want to fix these pretty much. Okay, one of the things I usually like to do is if there's no sharp corners anywhere, I just like to select all of these vertices. Again, modify menu, vertex, select all these vertices, right click on them, and then say Bezier corner. What that'll do is it'll give me handles to play with whenever I have my object created. Okay, wherever I have my vertices, in other words. So this way I can have this and then stretch this line out so it curves around my light bulb. Okay, same concept goes here. You guys notice how my image, you can barely see through this when we have it, so I'm just going to turn that off. So go to Views, Viewport Background, and all you have to do is click on Show Background to turn it off. Okay, since it's in the front viewport, and my grid's right there. Most likely I know I kind of know what this image is going to look like. So I'm just going to change these so they are, oops, so these are round. I'm not good, not really going for perfection here, but you guys want to look for an image that has more of a smooth um, or more visible lines. Okay, and I believe this goes in here like so. Okay, so something like this. Note how I'm just turning all of these into Beziers just to make my life a little simpler. You guys have the option to do that. If not, you can always change change them to Beziers corner. I mean Bezier corner. Okay. This part goes outside. The glass part goes on the inside. So we have this. Okay. This looks about okay. Can't really make it any smoother than that. Here you can get fancy with the light bulb. You can create your own shapes, designs, whatever. So like about so, it looks okay. Let's say. I know you guys also notice I have this little window up here. Pretty simple to pop this out. If you click right click anywhere in the gray spot on your top toolbar, and you want to click on Axis Constraint, and I'll pop it up, pop it down. The reason this is too is anytime you have a vertex and you can't rotate these green lines on a certain axis like X and Y on both of them, you just click on X, Y. You have the freedom to move it on both axes. Otherwise, you're just stuck to one side. Okay, I'm going to go back to Views, Viewport Background, and click on Show Background, and I'm just going to do a quick visual check on how my light bulb looks. That looks okay. That's fine for now. I'm just gonna leave it at that and just fix the top here just a little so it's more of a rounder shape right there. That's all. Okay, so that looks about okay. I'm gonna change this to Bezier so I get more of a round curve here. About so. Okay, have that. I'm gonna turn off my background again. Alright, next thing you want to make sure is that this vertex and this vertex on top are both lined up to each other. So if it's going too far out, just pull it in. This one is okay. Alright, so we have this shape here. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit P on my keyboard to go to perspective viewport. Okay. So right now, note it's just a line and it just outlines the outside of a light bulb. Next, what I need to do is go into the modify menu, go down the modifier list, and you're looking for something called Lathe, L-A-T-H-E. Okay. Once you click on that, you get an object that looks like this. Yours might look different depending on the calculation your Max does. But the easiest fix for this is either hit Min, hit Center, or Max, depending on how your results are. Okay. The next thing is you want to scroll up and then look up here, see if there's any black things like that. Just say Weld Core and flip normals if your image comes out black. So remember Weld Core up here. And if you're getting an image like this where everything is black, all you do is just click on flip normals and it should fix that problem for you. Other than that, that's pretty much it for creating a simple light bulb or so. The great thing about this is that show end result button up here. Go to vertex. You can always change these no matter what. So if I want to change what this looks like, I can always go back into my spline level and I could change these. So you give it to a client and then say, hey, this curve is just not right. You know what I mean? You can always you can always go back and change these. So you have freedom and options with this as far as it goes, and you don't have to go into the whole shebang of poly model and so on. Um, you're pretty much kind of set here. Okay. Now you can see that just by changing just these green vertices that we have here, the control bars, I can get a different shaped light just by doing that, or just by moving one vertex, and I can get a flatter light bulb. So you can do that. So you can have one light bulb. Oops. You can have one light bulb, move it over, shift move it a couple of times, leave it as a copy. So let's just move it like 5-6 times, whatever, um, and go back into your line, click on show end result, and you can move this and this to get a rounder light bulb. The next one, show end result, like that. So those little boxy ones, and also these long ones that we have now. These longer ones. It's a bulb on top, and this point here, it's like so, I believe. Okay, so you can see the possibilities of just with just one kind of shape. I'm just gonna delete these because I don't need them. Actually, just grab one. Oops, I'm gonna put one of these back. Same thing on here. I'm just gonna change these a little, so you could have one of those lights and one of those. Sure. Okay. Or the sorry, the pointy ones to the really pointy ones. One of those guys. So you can see the different possibilities with just using just one spline setup, and you can change these however you feel like. Okay, so that is it for creating light bulbs and so. I will be making another video about other using the same technique for other household items. Okay, so go ahead and save your work.